Hey everyone, how are we doing? My name is Tim Pongrez and this is Focus on Detailing. In today's video, it's going to be all about how to make your car look a whole lot better and worth more just by completing this task. What do you reckon? She agrees. A highly requested video and a common job that detailers find themselves doing is headlight restoration. I'll be going over a few different methods, what works and what doesn't, basic home remedies and full-on detailing run-throughs. When it comes to jobs like this, having the right equipment, products and time makes all the difference. I'm here to go over it all so you can do it yourself and potentially fix your headlights, making for a better looking and safer car to drive.
As you can tell, the car in today has some pretty average looking headlights. Cloudy, dull and impinge on light being emitted from the inside. First, before we get started, I think it's important to discuss how they get like this, as it can help you further identify what the appropriate course of action may be. Consistent exposure to UV rays is punishing for most things, especially headlights, causing the plastic to become oxidized. They do come with a protective coating, but that will eventually wear off, leaving the polycarbonate plastic exposed to the elements, in turn making those lights look that ugly yellow color over time. Our job is to strip back the damage and apply a new coating. Seems simple enough, but what method best suits the job at hand? Before going over anything, it's important to have the headlights you're working on cleaned to avoid installing any further marks and taped around the edges to protect the paintwork and/or plastics. You have home remedies like using toothpaste, but I'll show you how well that does the trick. It is a very fine abrasive method, so you'd think it could work, but with lights like this, it will be needing a lot more. Doing this alone isn't wise, as you're still providing no protection, so they'll end up back how they were when you started, if not worse. Next step up would involve compounds and polishes with a protective coating, whether that be with a polisher or by hand. A better method, and I'm all for it if the headlights aren't overly oxidized and the coating I use is hardy and long lasting, making my work worthwhile. But again, even though there was a slight change, it isn't enough. You also have your popular resto kits. They're not bad, but still don't provide enough in this case. Now, the most thorough process and what I'll be going through in more detail today is the wet sanding of the headlight, compound and polishing, then finishing with a ceramic coating. More labor intensive but creates superior results by far. I have with me 600, 800, 1000, 1500 and 2000 grit sandpaper. Lowest grit obviously having the heaviest cutting ability. You may not need something so aggressive, or maybe even more so. That comes down to what yours look like, but with these headlights, starting with 600 grit will be just fine. I started by generously spraying water over the headlight and the sandpaper. Then with moderate pressure worked in straight motions, spraying again every so often to keep the surface wet and well lubricated. You'll soon find a cloudy water coming from the light. That's the oxidized oil coating, what we're trying to remove, so that's a good sign. Once finished, I managed to remove the yellow, but it still left the light dull with scratches. Fear not, as that's why we have the lighter sandpaper. I moved up into the 800 grit, working in up-down straight motions to counter the marks that were installed with the first step. Again, keep the light well lubricated. This process can at times make the headlights look worse than how you started, but the more we remove at the start, the easier the next stages will be to help restore the clarity, and will be looking better after each one. I continued in moving up into the next finer grit paper, working against the lines I installed in the step before, until I was happy I could go on to the next stage. The light still might be hazy once you've finished, but that's where we move on to the next step, which involves using power tools. I have with me my ShineMate DA polisher. It has a smaller backing plate to fit a 3-inch and 4-inch pad on, perfect for getting in those tighter spots like headlights. I used a compound with a cutting foam pad. You may choose whatever combo you like, preferably one with heavier cutting abilities. I'm going with Shine Supply's Classic Cut with ShineMate's Heavy Cut Green pad. I worked it into the plastic on a high speed with moderate pressure. This will help to remove any fine scratches left from the sanding stage, leaving behind a cleaner, more transparent finish. I wiped it clean with an MF towel ready for the next step, which will revolve around refining and enhancing rather than correcting, that being polishing. I used ShineMate's blue polishing pad with NV Finesse. In the exact same process as before, I worked over the light. The polish will be bringing the most out of it, refining it down to a brilliant clear finish. I wipe to reveal the end results and check my work once again. It doesn't hurt with both the compound and polish to go over it again if need be. Just make sure you obviously finish with the polish. You can definitely see results compared to the other light. It's been completely cleared up. It's now allowing for more light to be emitted and will be all set for coating, but not until I fix up the other light, as I know that area will be getting dirty again. I completed the other light with the exact same steps to ensure they looked just as good as each other, and finished up by rinsing down the front of the car, removing all remnants of the burnt out UV coating over the front. It's really important to have the whole area dry and free of water hiding anywhere, as that won't help the protection last as long as we want if it comes in contact. I'll be using a ceramic coating from CarPro dedicated to be used on plastics, but before slapping it straight on, we need to make sure we removed all residue of the compound and polish. I use Shine Supply's Throwback. Essentially, we're having the light stripped bare so we can get the most out of this product. Once that was done, I applied Deluxe to a suede applicator, then gently worked it in, making sure to cover every spot evenly. This temperature resistant product will help to repel contaminants from adhering to the surface, and most of all, make our hard work worthwhile, helping to keep the lights protected and looking clear. After waiting for it to cure, I added a coating of CarPro Reload to help it go even further. This was the end result after running through all steps on both lights. They look amazing, how they should, and will hopefully be staying that way for longer. All in all, taking the time away from me filming, this probably took just over an hour per headlight. It's a good investment as doing this improves the car's overall look, making it stand out and worth more. Nothing is more appealing than a car that's been treated well. Clear headlights are a dead giveaway. Some headlights can still appear hazy. This is just an issue of age on the inside and minute cracks accumulating over time, so this can't really be fixed unless you want to buy new ones. But this just goes to show, although these have been punished, they're looking far better now. This car is now all set to be delivered to the customer. So that's it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you all later.